Yeah, that was a massive opportunity for me. So I guess, when I went into the camp, I just wanted to soak it all in. And, I think just the intensity of the training is what I took out of it. And then, try to bring it back here for the boys.
Does that give you confidence, the fact that you're now right at that level of footy?
Yeah, for sure, mate. It's something that I've been working on, over the years. And to get the call from Bill was, pretty special for myself. So to, be considered or be in the picture for Origin is, something that I've always wanted to be a part of. And, I really enjoyed the experience that I had.
Val sort of said the other day that Daly's axing sort of sent a message to everyone, the jersey's never safe, and that a loss could really trigger some team changes. Is that something that you've got your eye on, that if a loss does happen a few big weeks and suddenly you've got a debut?
Yeah, mate, it's obviously everyone wants to make their Origin debut, and just to be a part of that first camp was a massive experience for myself. And mate, I'll be pushing really hard to play some good footy to hopefully get a knock on the door.
Did Billy say anything to you about what you've got to improve, or what's that next step for you to earn that maroon jersey?
I think I just got to play consistent footy. Make sure I'm performing here every week, and I'm sure that's the reason I would have got selected in the squad. So I just want to keep playing my best footy here at Bronx and see what comes off the back of it.
You've got a great opportunity to do that with Cronulla, Bulldogs, Warriors, 3 high-quality sides the next few weeks. Stand up against them, and that really counts for something, right?
Yeah, for sure, mate. That's we're going through it's going to be some tough games, and as a club, we're looking forward to that. So we're trying to do all the preparation we can to get that right and make sure everyone's all good, ready to go for the next month of footy.
Looked like Mate was having some pretty in-depth chats with you guys out there. So with you, Reese and Tony out there, what was he talking to you about?
Oh, I was having to catch up, mate. Had a good little bye week there, so just getting around each other and making sure we're fresh and ready to go for this week.
What have you seen from Selwyn the last couple of weeks since being left out of the team? I guess it was only a couple of weeks before that axing was being talked about as one of the best players in a couple of losses at fullback. What have you noticed in him around the traps here, trying to fight his way back in?
Yeah, Sally's obviously everyone knows he's pretty quiet, but he's always full of happiness, and he just loves playing footy, mate. He's out, training, always got a smile on his face, and we're just happy to obviously have him here. And personally, I love being with Sally, so he's just enjoying his footy, mate. And obviously, he's played a few games there at Wynnum last couple of weeks, so he's doing all he can to get back in the team.
Did it surprise you not seeing his name on the team sheet there against the Titans? And was this sort of a bit of a wake-up call for you guys that no one's really safe if losses do start piling up?
Yeah, obviously, Madge always talks about you only renting the jersey. So, the way I look at it, mate, is I just want to play consistent footy, personally, to make sure that, I hold on to a jersey. And, that's just what everyone's trying to do in the team. So, I guess that's just footy, whether you're playing or whether you're not. But I think the best thing about it, especially with this group, and like I said with Sally, is everyone's very positive and, happy to, if someone's performing well, that, they want to make sure they're doing everything to get the jersey.
We saw him, drop from Origin last year, and there was a lot of talk about, potentially Billy having problems with him. We've now seen him being dropped at club level. Was this something that came as a surprise to you? And I guess, what have you seen as a teammate that you think that he needs to improve, I guess, to get back?
Oh, I think for me, footy's full of surprises. So, you don't really want to see anyone getting dropped and stuff like that. But I guess that's just footy, and that's how it works as a business. But like I said, mate, Sally, he's full of energy and he's always happy to be around, and he's always performing at training. And, you guys wouldn't see it, but he's always doing things away from the field as well. So, that's the best thing about this club. All the boys are working hard for each other, whether it's out on the field or, whether it's things at home or away from footy. We're obviously pretty tight, and everyone's, like I said, working for that jersey.
Whatever has, I guess, caused that decision to be made for him to be dropped, are you confident that he can earn that jersey back?
Yeah, for sure, mate. Everyone's seen how good Selwyn is. He's played at the Origin level, and, he's done some awesome things for this club in the past. So, I'm a big fan of Sally. Obviously, I'm a teammate and a mate off the field, but, I'm sure Sally, when he comes back, he'll be firing, and, I personally can't wait to play with him again.
What about Reese? That game against the Titans, probably arguably his best of the season so far, particularly with with the talk about if there is a big loss in Perth for the Maroons, that there could be changes. Do you think he would be ready to be thrown back into that side after just a few weeks?
Yeah, for sure, mate. Walshe went through a tough period, obviously, with his knee, and he's another player that we want to have out there as much as we can. And unfortunately, he got injured, but Walshe works just as hard as anyone else at the club. So, to have him back last week against the Titans was pretty nice to have him out there. And like I said, just brought that energy, and everyone loves playing with him. So it's good to have him in the team.
There was a bit of talk, like when he did get injured, that maybe the break in a weird way might have been a good thing for him, just to get away from playing for a little bit. Do you feel that? Do you feel like he's come back, maybe with a different mindset or a little bit of a different approach potentially?
Yeah, I think I've spent time away from the game through injuries, and I think that's a time where a lot of players reflect on their journey so far and their approach to the season and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess for Walshe, for him to be able to reflect and see what he needs to work on or what he needs to maintain, I think that 4 to 6 week period he was out is was a good refresher for him, and he's come back fine, mate. So it's good to have him, and like I said, just having that energy around the boys again is something that we want. So it's good to see him back in the team.
Just with Selwyn, it would be hard for him to get back into the team no matter how well he plays in reserve grade. If Josiah keeps playing the way he did, like against the Titans, what have you seen in Josiah since coming into the team, and even just throughout the season, trying to force his way in?
Yeah, I guess that's just healthy competition, and that's what we want at the Bronx. It started in the preseason, and Madge put us through the preseason, and everyone was working as hard as they could to get a jersey. And as my career goes on, it's good to see the younger boys putting in the work and then getting these opportunities to play. So I think it's just healthy, mate. Just make sure everyone's turning up every day, doing what they can to be better, and ultimately prepare the team to perform on the weekend.
No, Ben Hunt out there on the field today. He was originally supposed to be back this week, or at least that was the original schedule. Do you have any idea how far away he might be, or are you expecting him to play this week?
Oh yeah, well, to be honest, I am. Doze is, getting through his rehab like the other boys have been, and I think when we do get Dozer back, he'll be back at the right time, and we can use obviously his experience and his energy as well.
And Jordan Rickey's playing his 100th game on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
How have you enjoyed seeing him progress over those games?
Yeah, it's that's a special moment for Jordy and his family. So also, for the boys as well that have been here since he started his journey here. So I'm looking forward to it, and obviously we got to celebrate Reno's 300th last week, which was massive, as a group and a club. So we'll treat Jordy no different, and I look forward to getting on the field for his 100th.
Obviously a tough one as well for Ben Sakura, undergoing surgery and everything like that. It sort of looked like just as he was sort of starting to hit his stride, he was getting some NRL games under his belt. Tough injury for him to succumb.
Yeah, mate, you don't want to see your mates get injured, and Big Benny's been working really hard to get a spot in the team, and to finally get one, and then obviously get injured. That's it's unfortunate, and you don't want to see that. You want to see everyone healthy and on the field. So I guess for Benny, he's just going to have to keep working. His time will come, and just make sure he gets his rehab right.